National Weather video, your host Alvin Kamaz. I do want to bring an update on 5/16's tornado and the full track released by our National Weather Service, as well as talking about what's next, which is nothing like what we just dealt with. So at least I have better news to give you, and I'll talk about it in the last part of this video. But first, that graphic from May 16th, that EF3 tornado that went on the northern side of St. Louis, very close to downtown. And remember, this full summary from our National Weather Service mentions how it started around Clayton, Missouri, eventually making that northeastern curve towards Granite City, Illinois, so it did cross the Mississippi, eventually heading towards Edwardsville, Illinois, but then it started to dissipate just outside of SIUE, which is a Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. So luckily we didn't see as much damage as what we saw there because that tornado started to weaken. And of course our National Weather Service might do a little bit more deeper analysis on this, so I'll repost anything that they do learn if there was another tornado that formed or this was just one single tornado that went through this track. But of course this tornado caused that big hook echo that was seen by our National Weather Service. The reason why this was upgraded to a PDS on this day, this was a supercell thunderstorm. So on the northern part of it you had the hail. That was the tornado that was just north of St. Louis on that day before it started making that northeastern curve, as well as the debris ball that you were able to see, which is the reason why you saw all that damage. And why we knew there was damage happening at the time wasn't because we thought it was a strong tornado, but because of our CC drop, or correlation coefficient, that showed us that there was a tornado on the ground. And this photo shows you how it was a mile wide. And yes, it is a myth that tornadoes don't go through very populated areas, because it did, and this is why our National Weather Service said it was a mile wide at times, because as you can see, this was wrapped in rainfall and you couldn't see this wedge tornado from a distance. It's at the top of the Gateway Arch where you were able to see it through the rainfall. So what a rare sight to see. Reminds you of back in 2013 and 2011. But again, this is going to go down in the record books as we are ending the month of May, heading into June. But also, we had another tornado. This was an EF2 around Des Arc, Missouri. Notice the track that it did make right here, and estimated peak winds were just over 100 miles per hour. This also impacted the same structures from the March 14th tornado, which was very interesting. So this community has already dealt with a lot, and organizations like the Samaritan Purse are helping people with free assistance, those impacted by those storms. So luckily we have so many organizations that are willing to help these people rebuild, not only for people down in Des Arc, but specifically in St. Louis that was hit with that strong tornado. So you definitely want to always have multiple ways to receive warnings, like having a NOAA weather radio. Hopefully this taught us all a lesson, which of course we never want a tornado to teach us a lesson, or a severe weather outbreak to teach us a lesson, but you always want to have multiple ways to receive warnings, like a NOAA weather radio. Replace the batteries on them. Yes, other resources are your phone, but remember, what happened if your phone dies? Remember, you have batteries that last a whole lot longer than your phone on this NOAA weather radio, so definitely program it accordingly so it can wake you up at the middle of the night, and make sure it's switched to on at all times. Your NOAA weather radio should never be toggled off, because you never know when we could have severe weather. It could even be on a day where we're not even talking about it. So this thing is a lifesaver. It saves so many people's lives, not only here, but even states like Kentucky, where I think this would have been very useful, especially over London, Kentucky, and even in southern Illinois. Marion, Illinois actually was hit by an EF4 tornado on May 16th. That's just outside of the National Weather Service's coverage area. It's covered under Paducah. They issued a tornado emergency for that town on that day, and I think it worked to save a whole lot more lives than Kentucky, where we saw a lot of fatalities. But again, bottom of the line is whether people died or not, we want to save as many people's lives as possible. So definitely have a NOAA weather radio by going to Midland, USA, to keep yourself and family safe during the 2025 severe weather season. But now let's talk about what's next, which is nothing like what we just dealt with. You can see temperature trends. The 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center shows you temperatures near or slightly below normal favored. Well, our normal highs for this time of the year are now in the lower 80s. So a lot of kids are heading out for summer break. You're probably wondering where you want to go. Or if you just want to hang out in the pool and you're just like, when is it going to be time to get in that pool? Because you know it's going to come. Maybe not during the early part of the month, but eventually there are some signs that June will give us a couple of days to get in the pool. It won't happen every day, but some days at least we have the potential for near normal to slightly above normal temperatures during the early portions of the month. But they do update this every single day, so you definitely want to check back for updates once we get back into the routine of talking about temperature trends. Of course, it's been a pretty active spring, and that's the reason why we haven't got to talk about temperature trends as much. But again, having a NOAA weather radio is very important, and hopefully that taught all of us a lesson back on May 16th. But of course, that was my last update about this, unless we have any new information about what happened on this day. You want to follow me over on X or Twitter for updates on this. Threads, Instagram will also be a great resource as well to follow me for those updates, whether we're talking about severe weather or just your garden variety showers and thunderstorms. I'll be there to bring you those updates, whether it's sunny, whether it's stormy. I'm going to try my best to get out there, including today, to bring you an outdoor weather report. So again, make sure you follow me on those socials. The link will be down in the description. And as we continue to rebuild, just know we're going to get through this, St. Louis. Again, tornadoes do hit many populated areas. It's rare to see it, but when it happens, I love how St. Louis can all come together to help each other out, to rebuild a town that we love so much, and I know we can do it. So let's find time to help each other out, and I'll try to do the same thing as well. But until then, I hope you have a great and safe start to your week.